Hello, it's Prince Easy, and well, just for fun and giggles, I decided to go back to the year 994, the year that I was born, okay? What do I mean? Well, if we are to consider the so-called AD system, yeah? AD system, which coincidentally the Igbo people use this system, and it's actually the year 994. Why is it important? Okay, Igbo are one of the tribes, right? So their system is to match up with scripture. Okay, it's not the date of man, it's date according to scripture. So before Christ and after Christ. Okay, you get it? So the year today, in respect to scripture, it's removed 1,000 years from the current date, year to be specific. Right? So that would make 1024, right? 1,024 years, right? Okay, I don't want to go to the nitty gritty details, but that's generally what happened. Okay, they change the I's and the J's in antiquity and historical texts to one, basically just destroying the entire timeline. So imagine, okay? So if they say Jesus Christ was alive 1,000 years ago, that means 1,000 years ago. Okay, that's a big difference for such a small change, right? But hey, that's just how the system works. Okay, so I decided to find out what Herod was doing in 1994, and it really turned dark real quick. I never did this, remember, I never did this. Okay, I did this with the intention of just finding out, But the things that I done figured out is concerning. It goes back to, to that same conclusion that I'm coming to. That hey, they knew who I was. They were just waiting for something to happen. Okay, what is that thing? Well, I can speculate a lot, but that's not the point. Okay, so let's see what the world was like in 1994. Yeah, and we're gonna cover this basically looking at major events that occurred, right, in this year, significant events that they themselves have pointed out to be significant. So, let's get to it. And all of this is actually from Wikipedia, okay? Even the 994 thing, they've always known. Okay, they've always known. It's just the issue of connecting the dots to make sense of the whole story, okay? So, let's look. The biggest names of that year, the most popular names of that year were Jessica and Michael, of course, right? Jessica meaning behold God, and of course Michael, synonymous with angel, right? Guardian angel, right? One of the messengers of God, right? So what happened? What happened? So if you hear in the movie, like there is this movie called Commuter or something like that, another Prince Psyop, it's by Liam Neeson. They have this Jessica character in there, right? So they use Jessica, Eric, Michael. They mean basically They are trying talking in code, as I've pointed out many times before, right? So, the internet, right? It was a big year for the internet. Okay, these are the things that were let loose to the world in this year, right? The web browser, yeah, Windows interface, Linux, smartphones, Macintosh, internet radios, PlayStation 1, Online America Online. This is the beginning of the early internet, yeah? And China gets connected, and of course the first product to be ordered online was a pizza, right? And of course the BBC radio, and also the invention of spam. The spam is as in the technological term spam, right? And of course we have the Russo-America, Russo-China missile situation, where they basically say they pre-programmed missiles towards enemy targets, right? So the only thing that was left was to just press a button. It's more like they're saying autonomous autonomous missiles. Okay, the autonomous missiles only need just need to allow them to start. Okay, so it's just they're changing the languages. Okay, so there was a missile crisis, right? I don't know, nuclear or atomic. Right? There were a lot of earthquakes, volcanoes, tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, comets, and outbreaks of storms that year. Of course, the system has to go haywire for a little bit. Okay, the system has to go haywire. Okay, because a new field has been introduced to the earth, right? And of course, Africa was active, yeah? South Africa especially, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Libya, Chad, Somalia, Haiti, right? They were highly active this year, right? And of course, we had aircraft and boat, ships, accidents, a lot of them. And all of these tiny events had a huge change upon how the entire industry of aviation and marine transportation works in general. Okay, that they did this to fulfill what I was saying the other time. I was saying that it would be impossible for people to travel. It would be hard for people to travel, because the later you know that Babylon is a trap. Babylon is a trap. Okay, you might not see the trap right now, but the trap exists. You just don't see it. Okay, they want to trap niggas over there. Right? They want to trap niggas over there. This is war. Okay, this is war. Our nation has always been in war. Africa has always been at war. We just forgot. Yeah? We put down our guns and we picked up newspapers and stuff. Yeah? We forgot that we are at war. We forgot that the cruel colonial master did not just stop being cruel. Okay, the reasoning behind what he does has just changed, but the intention and the purpose has always been the same. Enslavement of Israel. They do not want to serve. Esau does not want to serve. The pride is being used by the devil to destroy both Esau and Israel. Yeah, Judah to be specific. Yes, so be careful. Sweden, same-sex was made legal over there. Yeah? Rome versus the Church of England concerning the female priest situation. The Church of England was going against the Catholic Church. It is doing so even now indirectly. Yeah, because it is the Church of the King. And the king is sus to be, he supports the whole situation of enslavement of black people. Right? He sees justification behind that. That's why he's out here just dividing people by supporting one group and in hopes that they fight. That's what is happening here. Yeah, they have picked very specific nations. I can even tell you these nations. Yeah, you might not like it, but it's the truth. They have picked Kenya and they have picked Rwanda. Okay, these are like the two nations that like were at odds with like everybody. You know, remember those times when um, um, there was those inter kingdom wars, right? And when these colonial people came, they just supported the weaker. Okay, even it's the same thing even in Sudan over there, right? They support the weaker one, and they make that person, that weak person, so dependent upon their help that at the end of the war, if they resend that help, they will be left hopeless. Okay, that is the trap. Okay, so they have given Kenya too much, they have given Rwanda too much, and it's showing even in their economy. They cannot abandon the dollar. You can't just do that. That's just propaganda. That's just you being a mouthpiece for some nation in hopes for them to come to, I don't know, save you, because you are crossing your fingers that there will be the dominating economies. Okay, you should stop playing this game. Okay, always stay away from any divisiveness that is going on. Right, it's obvious divisiveness going on here. Okay, I see it, most people see it, but they don't know exactly why they're doing it. Okay, so I'm just making it obvious for you. Okay, so if they fall, you fall. It doesn't matter which side, east or west. Do not align yourself with either. Okay, do not pick up their agendas and run with them like some good faithful soldier or puppet or something. Right? They have both of these sides have to face judgment, and you supporting them in their agendas, you are basically partaking in their judgment, because you are partaking in their good things, right? You are partaking in their table, you are eating from their table. So if the punishment comes, you are in the table also. So if the food was poisoned, you will be poisoned too. And you don't get it. You just switch masters like it's a game. You are playing with people's souls, and it had to be said. 66 Academy Awards, yeah? They had the Whoopi Goldberg and the Steven Spielberg. What movie did he win? The Schneider List. What is it about? Those people who say they're Jews and are not Jews. They're trying to trigger some sympathy, right? This is 94, remember, yeah? Solar eclipse in the US, right? Of course, in the US. Flavor Saver, tomato, the first legal GMO food. Yeah, in 94, all of these things up to now happened in this single year. Okay, so they introduced GMOs. The agenda of transhumanism and trying to transform the prince into an abomination began using food. And of course, we had a person playing the prince in this year, which was O.J. Simpson. Yeah, O.J. Simpson. It's right there in your face, but people just don't see it. Yeah, they set him up. It's obvious. Yeah, the glove don't fit, right? They should try it on Trump or something. Right? The gloves don't fit. It's obvious. But interestingly, he supposedly escaped in a white Ford Bronco in a low-speed chase. Yeah, what is the symbolism? What are they trying to say? Right? OJ is the prince. Right? The prince has fallen into the trap. The trap is the white woman. The white woman. Yeah, he has fallen for the trap, and then the trap has been sprung. Right? Now he has been labeled a murderer. Right? And he's being pursued. Okay, and along the way of this pursuit, he secures a white Ford Bronco and goes on a low speed chase. Low speed chase. Okay? Now, this is bizarre. All of these events are bizarre, okay, because they are symbolisms, right? What is the logo of the Ford Bronco vehicle? What is the logo of the Ford Bronco vehicle? It's a horse, okay? It's the horse. It's a horse, yeah? A horse. A white horse. So O.J. Simpson, a rider of the white horse. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, so that was the whole O.J. Simpson debacle. It was a psyop wrapped in witchcraft, wrapped in sorcery, wrapped in more sorcery. Yeah? And all again plotting against the prince. Yeah? Venus, Jupiter, Pluto. A lot of moons, a lot of space activities. Yeah? The ISS got an update, and apparently some guy spent 437.7 days in space for the first time. Yeah, so space, so you can look at the names of these planets and understand that there's actual symbolism here, right? We have talked about planets and their translation. Yeah, they are gods, and when we say Mars, they mean this. When they say Jupiter, when they say Venus, so Pluto, Jupiter, Venus, they're all saying one single thing. Yeah, they are securing their position. Yeah, they are making their kingdom because the prince has arrived. Yeah, a lot of strikes. Yeah, we have seen in this past 3 years, 4 years, a lot of strikes. Yeah, but it was worse in 94. It was just insane. Okay, whole events had to be cancelled. Everybody was on strike for no reason, because it was a psyop. They were testing out how they can manipulate the masses to do their bidding in order for them to do their real operation, which was going after the prince. Yeah, of course, Irishman activity, a lot of Irishman activity at that time. Okay, and of course we have the death of Kurt Cobain. Yeah, a 9-inch nails, the downward spiral, the scream, the scream painting. Yeah, Cobain was an artist, yeah, who of course sold their soul to Satan for fame and money and, I don't know, recognition or whatnot. She died and it was a whole situation, but his death is like any of these ritualistic death is a symbol, a curse, a spell cast upon Israel. Yeah, and of course I saw the sign by the band The Ace is the song of the year. It toppled charts. Yeah, I saw the sign. Yeah, I saw the sign. It's right there in your nose. Yeah, the downward spiral. We have talked about spirals being portals or doorways. Yeah, doorways. It's a common witchcraft symbol. Yeah, they draw spirals as in doorways to go through, to possess. Yeah, so 9 inches of nail. Okay, Jesus Christ was crucified by the nails of the same. Talking about nails, yeah, and of course we have the Israel-Vatican relation. Yeah, officially the relation between Israel and Vatican began. Yeah, so literally the church endorsed those people who say they're Jews and not Jews. Basically, the enemy of the church become the friend of the church. How about that? In this year, you're still in the year 994, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to say, I'm sorry. Okay, all of this noise, all of these operations, all of these lives lost, for what? for what? But we are people of faith. We don't reason everything. Sometimes God does what he wants and we are later to find out why, right? So there's also a federal assault weapons ban. Yeah, a federal assault weapons. Yeah, we see this up back in full-fledged, right? And of course the formation of the Taliban, yeah, to cause chaos in the Muslim communities around the world. Yeah, and we have the Iraqi weapons, the situation of Iraq over there, right, before it all blew up and became what it became. Okay, and moving on, another interesting thing that they thought that was worthy of being event of the year, as it was the Order of the Solar Temple cult. Order of the Solar Temple in Switzerland and Quebec. Apparently they died, yeah, but it's not about their death, it's about where they died and the circumstances and what they are. Yeah, the solar temple, we have talked about the connection of the sun. Yeah, so these were sacrifices, and of course we talked about Lion King. Okay, you some people might have thought that I'm stretching out this thing, but nah. The Lion King, the first Lion King, one of the highest grossing hand-drawn movie. It took a lot of work to paint this movie. Okay, it's not an issue of money, it's not about issue about investment, it's an issue of faith. So they painted the Lion King, they literally painted the prince and Apollo trying to steal the kingdom. Yeah, that's what it's all about. The Lion King is all about, right? And I've talked about their connection to Zion, right? And of course Colombia and the heist in Colombia, which apparently 33 million was stolen. Heist of the century, they said. The president reveals that he has Alzheimer's. Yeah, we have seen the rise of Alzheimer's disease, bioweapons and stuff. And of course, Proposition 187, they literally had a proposition to deny supposed illegal aliens of public services. These same people, they denied other people public services because they are quote-unquote illegal aliens. Okay, now we have this situation here with Rwanda where they are sending, I don't know, bulks of people. Are you even prepared to receive those people? Because they themselves, they say, our hospitals are overwhelmed, our system is crashing because there's an high influx. So they want to channel this influx into the center of Africa. Well, if it goes through and those people are here, then they're meant to be here. But if not so, then something will happen. And it won't be me, right? It won't be me. But either way, I have nothing against them. Okay, but if they are racist, they are up for a big surprise. Let me just say that. They're up for a big surprise. So, of course, another op happened in Mexico, another economic op, where they manipulated the exchange rate. They say they wanted to quote-unquote adjust the exchange rate. They ended up costing Mexico a lot of money that they had to pay compensation for. Okay, so basically it was just another op, just like the Colombian one, just like the Switzerland and Quebec. They are just Babylon. And of course, the Central Europe was quite busy. Yeah, what we call as, I don't know, Middle East or whatever.